I'm at the Almaty Hippodrome. Most of the equestrian competitions are held here, including the traditional sports events. Today I'm interested in the long-distance horse race called the Baige. Baige is one of the most ancient and popular types of horse races among the Turkic nations. The Baige is a natural byproduct of the nomadic lifestyle. Racing horses were trained for long distances ranging between 50 and 100 kilometers, and sometimes even more. There was no standard distance for the race. The race was designed to test the endurance of the horses, an essential quality in the vast steppe. Therefore, the local breeds of horses are innately apt to run long distances. British thoroughbreds or Arabian horses are not used to long distances. For this reason, they are not allowed to such competitions. Just being a good racer is not enough to win the Baige. It is important to be impeccably honest and noble. Baige was held only on the main holidays celebrated by the people who had lived in the vast Central Asian steppes. These holidays had sacred meanings. Athletes were expected to enter the competitions with pure thoughts, displaying deep respect to the public and the occasion. This is a special kind of national sport that has come down to us from our wise ancestors. Eclipse was the name of one of the world's most famous racehorses. He competed for 23 years and always came first. Now there is a prize under his name, which is awarded to the fastest participants of the world-famous derby. While the nomads had their heroes and their derbies too. The race was called the Baige. I'm Aman and this is the Ethnosport. There are different types of Baige, depending on the distance and the age of the racehorses. Thai Baige is a race between the 2-year-old horses. Kunan Baige is when the 3-year-old horses race. Tonnen Baige is a race between 4-year-old horses for a distance of up to 5 kilometers. At Baige is designed for adult horses where they race for a distance of 5 to 8 kilometers. The most challenging race style is alaman-baiga, where the distance can range between 25 and 100 kilometers. Alaman-baiga is held only at major celebrations and festivities. Competitions will start in a minute. I can see a lot of spectators here. Men, women, children. They all are trying to take a good seat in the stands so that they can see the race better. These are all equestrian sports fans. They made effort to be here. They didn't stay home on their couches and didn't go elsewhere. They have gathered here. These races are dedicated to a mare named Loina, born in Kazakhstan in 1983. Since she was a foal, Loina had a flawless exterior and was remarkably different from her peers. She had a large stature and excellent proportions. She won many major competitions and was recognized as the champion of the USSR breed among mares. Can you imagine? Our Kazakh mare was #1 among the 2,000 thoroughbred horses. Loina was born at the Almaty stud farm, but she was conceived in the Lugovoye kolkhoz. You have seen today many horses from Lugovoye racing and winning the competitions. Last year, the Lugovoye stud farm was again recognized as the leading stud farm in the country. It is a legendary place. Do not forget that the great Absinthe was born at this plant. He was a participant of 3 Olympic Games, winning medals in the 2 of them. He was a legendary horse. Absinthe was the most famous horse of the USSR. In 1960, at the 17th Olympic Games, Sergei Filatov won the first highest Olympic award in the history of the Soviet equestrian sport in dressage. The event was as significant to the Soviet people as the first human spaceflight. The father of Absinthe was a grey Arabian. Marshal Zhukov loved him. He participated in the Ashgabat-Moscow race, famous in the 30s of the last century. And the mother of Absinthe was a Kalteker-Dan mare named Baccarat. Absinthe had his initial training at the Lugovoye stud farm. We have received a unique opportunity to support Kazakhstan's stud farms. Over the past 3 years, we have allocated funds annually to increase the prize fund in horse races, to support the Kazakh horses. All past achievements today are being revived in the equestrian sport. Therefore, only those race horses born in our country are allowed to participate in the domestic races. There is a special government program titled Born in Kazakhstan, which is designed to renew all kinds of ethnic sports and to revive the Kazakh traditions in horse breeding. Born in Kazakhstan, she may not have had the proper systemic training she could have had in Europe, America or Australia. But that's why we have this program, in order to improve how things are, to make sure that horses born in Kazakhstan could compete with imported horses. We are the descendants of the nomads, of great horsemen. It is in our DNA. The nomads who have inhabited these lands, the ancestors of the Kazakhs, representing the ancient Botai culture, were the first humans to domesticate wild horses. This happened around 5,000 years ago. Archaeological excavations in northern Kazakhstan helped scientists find the oldest horse accessories in the world. Remember the legend of the Golden Man, Altyn Ayda. In the ancient times, 20 horsemen lined up in the footsteps of a mountain to race for about 40 kilometers. That was the beginning of alaman-baiga. For Altyn Ayda, his brothers and any ancient steppe dwellers, this was a matter of honor, and losing the race equaled losing one's dignity, which was worse than death. While they rode around the mountain, the local people vigilantly watched the race. "Ooh, the bay horse is leading," some of the spectators said. "No, the grey horse is running ahead of everyone," the others exclaimed. This spectator excitement has been preserved to this day, through the centuries, through the millennia. What adults are doing here is understandable, but what are the kids doing here? Let's ask them. "We see you've brought your children. Why? What for?" "Because they both love horses very much. And in the city, where I can show them the horses. Only here, on the racetrack." "Oh, okay. I understand. We brought our kids here in case we get a chance to come closer to the horses, stroke them, stand next to them. And maybe now in this moment we will meet the future champions. Hey, let's shake hands. Hi, will you be a champion?" "Yes, well done." This is how probably the new stars are born. You first start coming to the hippodrome with your dad, and then 10 years later I'll see you on the pedestal with a cup in your hands. Fans, like centuries ago, choose a comfortable seat when they arrive at the hippodrome to be able to watch the race better. Arman is doing exactly that. What do you think? I think these are the best seats. The Almaty Hippodrome is the oldest sports facility in the country. It was founded almost 90 years ago. Since the beginning of the last century, it has been the center of equestrianism, not only in Kazakhstan but also in the entire former Soviet Union. International competitions were held here. The hippodrome did not stop working even during the Great Patriotic War. It supplied the best horses for cavalry units. In the post-war years, up to 600 thoroughbred horses were tested here every year. These races could be compared only with the Roman chariot races. They are amazingly spectacular. Only 3 horses race in the first stage. They started on the opposite side of the hippodrome and are now rapidly approaching the finish line. Here she comes, and here she is. In sports, this is called a spurt, acceleration at the finish line. Come on, go! Well, this is probably the fastest sprint race ever. And by the way, I was given the honor to present the prize to the winner. Let's go do it! I've never before presented an award to the winners. Let's see how it goes. In ancient times, the owner of the victorious horse was given 100 horses as a prize. But he did not take all of them to himself but distributed them among the fellow villagers, friends and respected Atsakals. This was one of the enriching and meaningful components of the Baige. These days, prizes of course are a lot more modest, but still worthy of racing. Yuri, hello. Now they are checking their weights. Then there will be the awards ceremony. So after the race, the horses get weighed, or the riders? The riders. Will there be a doping control? Testing for doping was done before the race. Now they are verifying that the riders' weights are the same as when they started the race. So what if something goes wrong? What if the weight is different? They get disqualified for having less or more weight. It does not matter. So if their weights are less or more, they get disqualified. The jockey should weigh 55 kilograms. This weight is for a mare's race. For a race on stallions, the riders have to weigh 57 kilograms. The mares in this race are only 2 years old. They are just starting. I see. Let's wait then. There are different types of Baige, depending on the distance of the races. The race requires knowing to ride the horses, adjusting its pace and speed of movement, having a clear tactics and strategy. Only the rider who successfully combines all these skills can win the race. The diploma for the winner is immediately issued on the spot, although we have not yet received the weighing results. But Yuri, I think, is confident who the winner is going to be. I already heard on the radio that weighs came out right. Everything has been cleared. So what is the prize? In the category of racing on 2-year-old mares born in Kazakhstan. This is their first race, and here is the diploma. And the diploma. Yes, the horse owner, the coach and his horse are noted in the diploma. Everything is clear. Hippodrome of Kazakhstan. Such a nice gift. I think it will be a memory for life for both the horse owner and the rider. They are announcing. Asıl Taz came first today. It is a great honor for me to congratulate the winner of this race, especially since I do this for the first time. Asıl Taz, I congratulate you, and I congratulate you too. So who's the boss? Are you the owner? Congratulations. So here is your cup. Coach, here is your diploma. Congratulations. These are the men who can glorify our great steppe. The horse is sweating, she's soaking, and apparently adrenaline is not all gone from her blood. See how excited she still is. Well, we are waiting for the next race.
Asıl Taz прекрасный конь. Поистине драгоценный камень.
Asıl Taz is a beautiful horse, truly a gem. Who trains her? The head coach is Medet Azimbayev, who has been preparing our horse since last year. We have a jockey. There are aides that take care of the horse. 3 to 4 people are engaged in training and taking care of one horse. I know a lot of people with completely different hobbies, and I'm interested. Is this hobby or job for you? And how did you decide to do this? You know, I can't imagine my life without horses. I've been training and riding horses since I was a kid. This runs in our family. My grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, all were engaged in horse breeding. It is in our DNA. I have been doing this from a young age. It is continuity of traditions that distinguishes us, the modern Kazakhs. We take what our ancestors created and incorporated in the modern lifestyle. Azamat, at what age did you first mount a horse? First time I mounted the horse when my grandfather put me on it. I remember from his stories, after my mother gave birth to me, my grandfather came on a horse to pick us up from the hospital. I was only a few days old. My grandfather put me on a horse. Ever since I was a kid, I have ridden horses. When I was only 8 years old, I raced in the Baige for the first time. I competed in equestrian races until I was 14 years old. I won many prizes. So in our family, we preserve and continue this tradition of horse breeding and racing. Impeccably is your son. I think he will of course follow in your footsteps. Does he already have some riding experience? I think he has already followed in my footsteps. He spends all his time riding horses. We always take him with us when travel on horses. By the way, Asal Tas, who came first today, is his horse. I gave it to my son. It is his horse. So it is your son's victory then. In the old days, boys aged between 8 to 14 years old were chosen as riders for races. Why? The answer is simple. Parents wanted to see their boys grow to become strong, agile and courageous. And only equestrian sports could help them become such and acquire these vital characteristics and skills. These sports were not just for fun, they were used as training to instill courage and endurance, essential skills for the nomads. Mass event like Baige was also an amazing entertainment and cultural experience for the people. New and skilled racehorses were covered with ornamented blankets before the race to keep the crowd intrigued. Their manes and tails were braided and decorated with owl feathers to keep the horses safe from the evil eye. The Kazakhs were afraid to jinx their horses. Friends, I want to introduce you to my new friend Semyon. He is 16 years old. He works as a groom at the hippodrome and loves his work. I absolutely love my job. What do you like most about your job? I love the horses. They are smart. They understand so much. They can understand me without speaking a single word. Semyon chose to take care of horses himself. The decision to take this job came to him easily and unexpectedly. Once the teen dreamed of a vast steppe with herds of horses racing through it. Then suddenly, the herd leader stumbled and fell. The entire herd stopped. Semyon approached the horse and asked him, "What is the matter with you?" The animal responded in a human voice, "I haven't been looked after in so long, so I'm weakened." When Semyon woke up, he realized that the dream was prophetic. He went straight to the hippodrome, which was managed by his neighbor. When the manager saw the boy, he was delighted and said, "Listen, there is no one to take care of the horses. Can you help?" Semyon didn't have to think long before he knew that's exactly what he wanted to do. Now he and his friend Anatoly work in the stable. They even planted flowers here. They say that their horses love looking at beautiful things. Well, Semyon, Anatoly, I wish you success. May your horses always be healthy, strong and fast. Well, good luck with your hard work. When people love what they do, they've found their calling, their passion. And this is when miracles happen. This is when champions are born. The most popular Baige is the super distance race called the alaman-baiga. It is the ultimate test for both the horse and the rider. It takes iron will and character from both the horse and rider to win such long-distance race. These are the traits the nomads needed to hone for centuries to be able to survive in the harshness of the great steppe. See you soon. This was Ethnosport.